Hello everyone, I hope you like my recording setup. This is the 1997 self-titled debut album by the classic, absolutely wonderful rock band Third Eye Blind. You should check it out. But today we are not talking about Third Eye Blind, because we are talking about the top 15 Maroon 5 songs. Yes, I have often been a critic of Maroon 5 in the past, but today is not going to be that day, because we're going to talk about some straight heat here on the channel. I will love these songs forever. Here's the catch. I am a big proponent of songs about Jane. I have always loved songs about Jane, and I think it's a great record. But if we were to include songs about Jane in my top 15 list, all 12 tracks would be on there. So we're not going to include any songs about Jane on this top 15 list. So that's the catch. These are the top 15 Maroon 5 songs that do not include songs about Jane. Starting at number 15, we have Feelings from the album 5, came out in 2014. I wouldn't say this is a good song, but the biggest trap that Maroon 5 can fall into is being boring. Especially on the last couple albums like Geordie and Love Is Like. Really, you sit there for 30 minutes and nothing really happens. So back on 5, when you're listening to Feelings and Adam Levine is hitting these really shrill, really high notes, they don't really work, but he's trying his darndest to hit these notes, and it's just fascinating to watch it. It's like a train wreck. You can't look away, and I will always love it for that. At number 14, we have Don't Wanna Know, which is on the 2017 album Red Pill Blues. Again, this is radio fodder. It's nothing special, except Kendrick is on it. And the best part about Kendrick being on it is that it makes me think of other great Kendrick verses. His guest verse on Give It To You by Robin Thicke. You're like a needle in a haystack, I wanna see you where my face at, and that line just goes so hard. I think about it all the time. So, shout out Don't Wanna Know for making me think of Kendrick Lamar and how cool he is. At number 13, we have My Ocean Blue, which is on the 1997 album The Fourth World, back when the band was called Kara's Flowers. I'm not a huge fan of Kara's Flowers, but you gotta respect them for trying. It's really weird that they named their band all after this one girl they liked in high school, but hey, what are you gonna do? I'm not surprised they changed it afterwards, though. My Ocean Blue is, it's a pretty funny song, because I always get it confused with Blue Ocean Floor, the Justin Timberlake song, and I think I'm in for something really special, and then I listen to it, and it's just good, you know? It's a good song. It's a good, happy, feel-good song. It's also the first song in the Maroon 5 catalog that I'm aware of that talks about Jane. Now, I don't know if this is the same Jane from Songs About Jane. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I think it is, but you'll have to do your homework. But anyway, My Ocean Blue from The Fourth World. At number 12, we have Memories from the 2021 album Geordie. Of course, the single dropped in 2019, and it was all over the radio at the time. Now, I know I just talked trash about Geordie, but here's the one song that I can really praise because it's actually calming and relaxing. Now, there's a lot of things you could say about Maroon 5, but very rarely, if ever, would you say they're calming and relaxing. Especially when Adam Levine does his high note thing, but he doesn't do it on this song. And a lot of people claim that it's about all the good memories you had with Maroon 5, but I do actually believe it's about the good memories that the band had with their manager, Geordie, who did pass away, and this album is in honor of him. So I think it's surprisingly earnest and a lot more than people give it credit for. At number 11, we have Dame Cabeza from the 1995 album We Like Digging. I said that with a question mark at the end because the album title has a question mark, and this album is basically Diet Pearl Jam. But that's okay, because you get songs like Dame Cabeza, which are probably the heaviest song in Maroon 5's catalog. It just hits you like a truck and does not stop. And somehow, even though Adam was only 16 or 17 or 18 at the time, his vocals are surprisingly good. I'd say it's better than most Adam Levine vocal performances. Even if it is a little rough, his shrillness hasn't come in yet, so Dame Cabeza kind of gets a pass for me. At number 10, we have If I Never See Your Face Again from the Rihanna album Good Girl Gone Bad Reloaded. Now, this song is also on It Won't Be Soon Before Long. We're in the realm of long album titles today. I really appreciate the Rihanna version because Adam Levine and Rihanna somehow, some way, have decent chemistry, and I will never understand how it works, but who am I to judge, you know? I think the Rihanna remix cuts a lot of the fat from the original Maroon 5 album. Not that there was a lot of fat to begin with, but I think just making it more pristine and more poppy was the direction to go with it the entire time. Good Girl Gone Bad Reloaded is probably the best deluxe album of all time. It added 3 new songs, and all 3 of them are massive smash hits. Disturbia is wonderful, Take a Bow is wonderful, and If I Never See Your Face Again is probably the weakest one, and it still comes in my Maroon 5 top 10. But this is not a video about Rihanna, this is a video about Maroon 5. So going back to number 9, we have Kiwi, also from It Won't Be Soon Before Long, but there's no Rihanna remix of this one, so we're just going with the album cut. This song has really sharp guitars, sharper than any other Maroon 5 song that I can think of, where it just sort of hits you. Kind of feels like acupuncture, but without the needle. And that heavy snare cuts right into my soul. As a Saint Anger fan, I will love this snare till the day I die. Shout out Matt for that one. At number 8, from the same album, It Won't Be Soon Before Long, we have Can't Stop. Now, this is an absolutely wonderful bouncy cut, and I think it works really well. If it weren't for We Like Digging, Can't Stop would probably be the heaviest song in Maroon 5's catalog, as far as I can think of. On Can't Stop, Adam Levine plays probably the character he's best suited to play, and that's a creepy weirdo who thinks about you 24/7 and does things that I should not say in this video. But he plays the character incredibly well, and it doesn't come off as charming, I would say, but it's incredibly on brand, and I think it does exactly what Maroon 5 was built to do ever since Songs About Jane went really big. At number 7, we have Maps, the single from 5. I know this song gets a lot of hate, but I think it's very thorough compared to a lot of other songs they were releasing around that time. Like, for example, when we think about One More Night or Animals, Adam Levine is trying to play this cool, tough guy that can do whatever he wants, and it never works out for him. Not once. But Maps is a lot more simple and to the point. It doesn't try to break the mold in any way. It just has a very simple goal of making a catchy pop song that has a good riff and some fun guitars, and it does it pretty well, I'd say. At number 6, we're going back to We Like Digging for the song Minor. M-I-N-E-R, not O-R. This song has an absolutely wonderful build-up. It's almost an ambient track. This is probably one of the few songs of Maroon 5's that I would say is stoic. You know, Maroon 5 is always putting their heart on their sleeves, and you can always tell what's going on in their head, but with Minor, it sounds very mature, especially for the time it was released when they were in high school, and I appreciate it. At number 5, we have Loving the Small Time, coming back from The Fourth World, the 1997 album. The Fourth World is pretty much a Green Day clone. It's Diet Green Day, but this is the song that I think is really actually good Diet Green Day. I would drink this Diet Green Day over actual Green Day probably 2 or 3 times a week. It's very quick, the guitars are very fast-paced, it reins itself in and goes all over the place at the same time. It knows its boundaries, but it still gives itself a lot of running room. It's very catchy, and if you want a good piece of 90s skate punk-ish kind of rock, this is kind of where you want to go in the Maroon 5 catalog. This is the one song for you. At number 4, we're going a little obscure with The Fog from Stag Street Recordings. I guess there's some debate as to whether this is an actual album or just a demo tape, because it was never really officially released, just shopped around to labels and leaked on the internet. But whether or not it counts, this is original Maroon 5 material, or Kara's Flowers material. I just absolutely appreciate how warm this song feels. Feels like staring at a sunset with your entire family on a nice summer day. Even though the lyrics have this kind of heavy, foreboding tone, it never comes off that way in the music, and it kind of reminds me of After Laughter, the Paramore album, which is one of my favorite albums of the whole decade. If all of Stag Street Recordings was like The Fog, I'm pretty sure they would have been signed as Kara's Flowers and wouldn't have to change to Maroon 5. At number 3, we're going back to Red Pill Blues with Closure. Now, this is probably the most impressive song in Maroon 5's run, because it was 2017 Maroon 5, and they kept me interested for an 11-minute jam session. That's right, in the era where Maroon 5 ran out of ideas, they managed to pump out an 11-minute jam session that's very catchy and engaging. Things are happening left and right. Adam Levine is still hitting those shrieky high notes, but it doesn't really bother me that much because everything else is just really cool and really fun. I've always thought that Jesse probably has a bigger hand in this track than he does most Maroon 5 tracks. I always saw him as like the mastermind behind the musical side of Maroon 5, and this is the point where they really let him spread his wings, you know, stretch his legs. And even when it peters out towards the end, that's the end of the album, so I Think it's a great closer to Red Pill Blues, and it's easily the best song on that album. At number 2, we have Woman from the soundtrack to Spider-Man 2, the 2004 classic movie. Everyone loves Spider-Man 2. Not everyone loves the soundtrack. I would not say I'm a huge fan of the Spider-Man 2 soundtrack. I'm selling it for 4 cents on Discogs if anyone wants it. But Woman is easily the highlight of the soundtrack. It has beautiful keys, beautiful string section. You can tell after songs about Jane got big that Maroon 5 got a little bit more of a budget. The writing is really basic. I'd say Adam's writing on this song is pretty weak, and I understand why it was cut from songs about Jane the first time, but the strings complement the piano section so well that I don't even mind, it just sort of flows into itself and gives the song more character. This is another song I think Jesse had a big hand in. You can see his fingerprints all over it. I mean, the main instrument is the piano, so it's gotta be his. Of course, that's pretty much just conjecture. I just always loved Jesse. I love him very much. And Adam keeps himself in check on the song, so... At number 1, you know what it is. It's the number 1 smash hit. Makes Me Wonder, from It Won't Be Soon Before Long. Everyone loves this song. It's a perfect pop song. Even Maroon 5 haters will acknowledge that this song is pretty decent. Shout out to Double Agent for putting me onto this song. He's the biggest Maroon 5 hater, but even he couldn't hate this song, and I never could either. And it really makes me wonder if I ever gave a... Yeah, that's my list. I love Maroon 5. There's about 50 to 100 bad songs to talk about for the top 100 worst Maroon 5 songs, and none of them would overlap with this list, except maybe Feelings and Don't Wanna Know. That might be a story for another day. Thank you for tuning in. Listen to Third Eye Blind. It's a wonderful album by a wonderful band. Good night.